All right, here we are, fourth day of the 2018 Nebulas. I'm sitting here at the table with Cat Rambo.
President of SFWA.
Yep, and of course, my
Dave
partner in crime.
Dave Robinson from the Archivos Podcast Network. Yes.
So we're kind of winding down at this point. We managed to corner Cat down here in the bar.
And we really, literally had to wait until the end of the con. When her fuel reserves were low and waylay her in the restaurant.
I wasn't moving as quickly.
That's right. She's very nimble at the beginning of the con. It's like, no, gotta go. Now she's much easier to catch.
Yes, absolutely. So, now that we're at the end, just give us your general feel of the whole Nebulous. How is this one different than last year?
While last year was awesome, I think this one is awesome squared. One of the things that Kate Baker came to me a number of years ago and said, I want to make the Nebula Conference the premier writing conference for working genre writers. And honestly, I think that she and the events team and Mary Robinette Coal have succeeded. There is programming here that I don't see anywhere else. Including like the office hours stuff, including the mentors program, which actually we'll do at WorldCon again this year, which is nifty. And little touches, the fact that at the banquet at each place was a button that said "Thank you, Ursula," in honor of Ursula Le Guin. Our marvelous Toastmaster. There's just been so many wonderful little details. Make me happy. So
And so the listeners know, if you weren't watching live streams or anything, we had Snuffleupagus / Telly as the Toastmaster.
/ Martin Robinson.
Oh, / well, I guess that's his real name. Funny side story, I went to take a picture with them last night, and, I told him, I really need to take a picture of Telly. And he's like, well, you can take a picture with me. I'm like, my kids aren't going to know who you are. They want Telly. But we got a picture. It was good.
It's
And I can say very definitively, as someone who was engaging with the conference beforehand, getting registered sponsorships and so on, I felt very well in hand with the communications I was getting from Kate, from Mary, everyone. There was never a question of, what am I supposed to do now?
Right.
Everything was very tightly wrought and very clear moving forward. That was huge help. Very helpful.
It's an amazing team.
Yeah.
Very lucky to work with them, I think.
So what are you most proud of in these last 4 days?
Two things. And one is that we launched our first Partners and Spouses reception, the Support Squad reception, which honors all of the partners and spouses that keep their writers going.
Absolutely. Without whom.
That's right.
Yep.
And our hostess at that was Gay Haldeman, Joe Haldeman's wife, who is a lovely, lovely woman. We had a decent turnout. We had buttons, and I hope to see that happen every year because I think it's really important to honor the partners and spouses.
Absolutely.
And we had programming aimed at them this year, so it was important. That's it.
It's true, though. I mean, even for me, who live in Pittsburgh, and I'm a podcasting guy, but my wife has been watching the kids for like 4 days straight.
Yeah.
Without much help because my stepdaughter is off working, and So exactly. They deserve it just as much as everybody else.
The other thing that I'm really proud of is we had our third iteration now of the volunteer breakfast on Sunday, where we honor the volunteers and we give them all beautiful certificates that say you have been a SFWA volunteer for the year, and my hope is that people love these and want to keep collecting them. But it was also a good way to just connect with all the amazing people that keep SFWA going.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's definitely one of the triumphs of this weekend has been because the programming is so focused, because just the geography of this particular hotel, keeping everything on one floor in one area, except for the concert, which is fine. the conversations and the opportunities for networking was almost like we were not a pressure cooker, but we were encouraged constantly to connect.
Yes.
And
yes.
that was invaluable.
Yes. And that's what the mentoring program, which was put together by Sarah Pinsker, she said I think they had 60 participants, 60
Really?
mentees,
Wow.
and then 60 mentors, which is a pretty significant chunk of the con.
Absolutely.
And that's so nice because you guys may not remember going to your first con and wandering around and being like, oh, everybody knows everybody else and I don't know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
This
And-
is Alan's first con.
This is my first
that's
con.
it.
Yeah.
Did you do the mentor thing?
I did not do the mentor thing.
See, you would have had someone who would have shown you the ropes and talked to you and told you everything you needed to know.
It's no worries. It's no worries. I knew
He
Dave.
had me. He had me.
Dave.
I was his mentor.
Dave was his. That's words.
Yeah, absolutely. And I knew Matt Kressel, so when he got
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
he helped me out a little bit, and I had absolutely no
Yeah.
problems getting to know anybody. And I keep mentioning that I keep mentioning this, but everybody was just so great,
Yep.
And
But a mentorship program for those, I think statistically it's safe to say that there's a large percentage of introverts
Yes.
in
Yes.
the writing community.
gosh,
so
yes.
having someone who can show the path ahead and give us at least the opportunity to choose our way
Right.
through the infinite paths of convention experience, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's a commitment to making sure that everyone gets the most out of this experience.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Excellent. So what didn't work?
You
Well,
went
we
there.
had
I
we had
totally went there.
we had a glitch with the live stream, or not with the live stream. We had a glitch with the recording the data guy, but we're recovering from that and working on that. There's the usual someone stubbed their toe, someone else, their banquet table wasn't exactly the place they wanted to be, that sort of thing.
Those
But
are
then-
all very manageable
Well,
glitches.
that's it. And I think it's a sign of how amazing our team is that, they handle this stuff. As soon as an issue arises, they're on it. They
Before
take
it
care of
becomes catastrophic.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we have been working on this conference since the day after the last one ended. So there's a huge amount of planning that went into it. A huge amount of. I know that when I was leaving last year, as I was going out of the office, Kate Baker and Stephen Silver were sitting down with the hotel, and they had a list of here's the things that went wrong this year, and here's the things that we're going to fix next year, including something as small as somebody had stubbed their toe on the ramp going up to the stage because no one had thought to outline it with white tape. And I looked this year, and it was outlined in white tape.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Was there a particular moment during the ceremonies that was very relevant to you, or particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? Like emotional, maybe?
I always cry during the segment where we list the names of the people that we've lost during the year. And for me, this year was particularly hard because we lost Jerry Cornell, who I often disagreed with but loved dearly. We lost Kate Wilhelm, and we lost Ursula, and we lost a very close friend. We lost a friend of mine, Mary Rosenblum, who's out in the Pacific Northwest in a very unfair way. She died in a plane accident.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. So for me, that's always hard. Having Peter S. Beagle there and being able to acknowledge him was amazing for me because he's influenced my writing. His writing has been a refuge for me, and holy cow, it's Peter S. Beagle.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We all grew up with him in our awareness. He was
Yes.
a part of the bedrock upon which we build our own fandom, our personal fandom.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
We are all following him into that lilac wood
That's
where the
right.
unicorn resides, right?
Absolutely. And his acceptance speech was just so touching.
And he sang for us.
Yes, he did. And he broke in the middle with the emotion, and that was tender and
It was.
sweet, too.
I mean, Pat Rothfuss said, "I didn't realize that the Nebulas would be such an emotional roller coaster," and they really were.
Yeah.
We went up and down and up and down, and that's how it should be, right? This is a celebration of our community, and we celebrate all the good stuff, and we all gather together to mourn the people that we've lost.
Like I was saying earlier, a wonderful alchemy of reverence and joy
Yes.
was
Yes.
beautifully
I
represented
thought
in all
really
of that.
nicely.
So next year,
Next
Los
year.
Angeles.
Los Angeles, and the events team has been out there scouting the hotel. They tell me they've gotten a super good hotel rate.
Awesome.
Oh.
So happy about that, because that's one of the things I kind of get on them about, is that we need to make sure the hotels are affordable for
Yeah.
the newer writers.
Do
Yeah.
you think the proximity to Hollywood and the film industry is going to introduce a stronger presence of that type of storytelling?
Well, I'll be curious. I certainly will try and reach out and see if we can bring some of them in.
Okay.
You know, every Nebula location has its own special flavor. You know, before Pittsburgh, we were in Chicago at the Palmer House, and that was beautiful and lovely and very genteel.
Very Gatsby.
And well, Pittsburgh feels more kind of like we're working here.
Yeah. That's right. We're proud of that.
That's it.
So we're running out of time here. So now the Nebulas are over and all that work is over and past. What's your focus now?
I have a story due on Monday that I need to finish.
Oh my God.
So she really needs to go like right now.
Like
and start
yesterday.
pounding out some words.
So yeah, I've got a couple editing projects that have kind of suffered because I was consumed by Nebulas. So this next week I need to finish them up, and I do need to get that story in. But it's mostly written. Just has 3 more scenes.
Excellent. And the Rambo
Fantastic.
Academy is going to continue
The
on.
Rado, actually, I will tell you a secret.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. This is brand new news. I believe that Shannon McGuire is going to come teach a class for me. We are working on
Cool.
cryptozoology.
Oh,
Nice.
So
Jeez,
details
talk about your
for
subject
that.
matter
Yeah.
expert on that. Outstanding.
That'll be up on the website as soon as I've just got to get home and nail out the dates, and then we are set, I think.
You really are gathering a constellation of stellar luminaries.
I feel like I have gathered some just amazing teachers. Ann Leckie doing space opera has just been
Yeah.
incredible. Scott Andrews has been doing this story on short story openings, which is just people come away from it inspired. I'm really excited. Next week we've actually got Howard Taylor is going to teach how to write funny.
Oh, good.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, good.
Nice. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, Kat, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Go write some words, won't you, please? All right, very cool. You and I should probably talk and do a little bit of a wrap up later on.
Yes, we definitely should.
Awesome, very cool. But for now,
For now, that's it.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.